in Waterloo and Seneca Falls. There are also locks, and there are overflows for those locks. You don't want to start saying, okay, I'm going to open up one of the locks, because once you open those locks, and if you got tons and tons of water upstream, you'll never get them closed again. And then that means Seneca Lake's going to drain into Cayuga Lake, and that's going to raise the water level of Cayuga Lake. You don't want mudlock to be overtopped. And there's only so much water they can release from the mudlock structures. And it depends upon what the water level is on the downstream side of mudlock. Now, the people that live along the Seneca River downstream of mudlock have said, well, that darn structure at Baldwinsville, they can lower that structure. Yes, they can do that, and they can release more water. But then you have all the people from downstream of Baldwinsville, including Onondaga Lake, including all the people that live along the Seneca River down to where Oneida River comes in, which raises all those water levels. And then the water levels in the what becomes the Oswego River is basically locked. There were, there were waterfalls in Fulton. There were waterfalls all the way down the Oswego River, and that's why the locks are there, so they could lock down to get the boats down into Lake Ontario. If you remove those locks and go to a natural system, yeah, it'll drain it, but without those locks, there's no summer ability to basically move up the Oswego River because there's waterfalls, and the same in the Seneca River going to Seneca Lake. You remove those locks, you've got waterfalls. You can go back to what they did before and you put the locks on the outside of the river, but there's a tremendous expense in that. But again, the locks serve a purpose for navigation. The locks and the lakes serve a diminished amount of ability to control water levels and store water. But depending upon what Mother Nature says as far as rainfall and runoff, you can either hedge to the high side or hedge to the low side. And either way, Mother Nature will always throw that curveball in there. And again, looking at the records that are on the Seneca Lake webpage, 7 times out of 10 times, they did a good job. Those 3 times are what people are complaining about now. You can't please all the people all the time, and you can't change the hydrology of the system because each lake operates differently. Most of the other Finger Lakes, as you can see in that one diagram, on this diagram, they can release water and say, it's your problem downstream, but they don't. They all try to work together. There are lake associations, and as I said, there are handshake agreements that if they know that from basically Owasco and Skinny Atlas Lake, if they know there's downstream flooding on the Seneca River, they're going to try to hold water back. Recall that one newspaper article for Seneca. They said the water level in Skinny Atlas Lake is going to stay high because there's a problem downstream.